Hi again. So, now you've been introduced to research methods that are commonly used in the field of UX. With lots of different methods to choose from, it can be tricky to know which method to use. We've got you covered. Coming up, we'll go over the benefits and drawbacks of research methods like secondary research, interviews, surveys, and usability studies. We'll also discuss why you'd choose one method over another. Remember what we mentioned earlier? The research method we choose depends on the question we're trying to answer. If we're just getting started with a project, we might use secondary research to know the stats, facts, and figures that already exist about our users. For example, imagine you're designing a budgeting app. You might want to review historical spending trends of folks in their 20s. Or you may want to learn what these young adults actually spend their money on. Chances are a credible study on this already exists. Finding one can save your team time and money. Plus, why redo work that's already been done? Another cool thing about secondary research is that it's immediately accessible. Usually, all you need is a good internet connection. Last, secondary research can be used to back up your own primary research. If users mention something during interviews, you might want to find secondary research to back it up. But there are also drawbacks to secondary research. Secondary research doesn't allow you to observe users interacting with your budgeting app, so you will not have feedback on how users feel about your product. Next, let's talk about interviews. Interviews allow you to understand what users think and why. During interviews, there is also an opportunity to ask follow-up questions and really understand the user's experience. The main drawback is that interviews take a lot of time and money. This means you'll end up with a small sample size, which can be risky when launching a brand new product. A compromise is surveys. As we learned earlier, surveys allow us to get feedback from a larger sample size of users. Other benefits of surveys are they are fast and inexpensive. You can hear perspectives from a lot of users very quickly. One big drawback to using surveys is that feedback from users is limited. Survey questions don't allow for in-depth feedback. Last but not least, let's think about usability studies. Usability studies allow us to observe firsthand user interaction with our product. Our designs make sense to us because we're the ones who created them, but that doesn't guarantee they'll make sense to every user. Usability studies keep our assumptions from getting in the way of acknowledging the user's actual experience. In addition, usability studies let the user give in-depth feedback. The drawback to usability studies is that they only measure one thing: how easy the product is to use. Another drawback to usability studies is that they are expensive because you have to bring users into a lab and reimburse them for their time. Finally, how a user interacts with your product in a lab environment is different than how they will actually use it in real life. All right, now you've got a basic understanding of the benefits and drawbacks of 4 common user research methods. Next, we'll shift gears and identify biases in UX research.